have been 150 years ago. And as we know so well, those trains are still running up and down those same tracks. And that vision that Theodore Judah and President Abraham Lincoln, if you can believe that, Lincoln signed that act. And that's brought us here today, unified our nation. So with no further ado, I want to introduce the Troop 29 of the Boy Scouts, and they're going to present the colors.
Color guard, attention! Audience, we drive! Color guard, forward march! Color guard, halt! Flag bearers, about face! Color guard, prepare to present the colors!
Cub Scouts Pack 29 helped Linda Wampler prepare these two historic flags, which are so proudly displayed by Troop 29's Honor Guard at today's event.
Today, when we gather for a civic event, we usually do so in the presence of the United States flag and the California state flag, but things were quite different in 1869. California was less than 20 years old when the Union Pacific Railroad met the Central Pacific Railroad at the Promontory Point, Utah. It didn't even have a state flag yet, but people could easily remember back to 1846, just 23 years earlier, when California was not even part of America, but part of Mexico. It was a time that Americans, along with people from many other countries, had started moving to California. And in June 1846, a group of Americans took control of the Sonoma, a small town about 100 miles from here.
When someone or some group claims a certain area of land, they show the world by raising a flag. So at Sonoma, a flag needed to be made. This flag, which came to be known as the bear flag, was made from a piece of muslin and a strip of red flannel, with a star, a grizzly bear, and the words California Republic painted on it to announce that Sonoma was no longer part of Mexico.
The flag was flown for just about a month during this bear flag revolt, and it was replaced by the United States flag. The bear flag was reproduced many times, however, and was flown several places around the state. The original flag was unfortunately destroyed in the San Francisco earthquake in 1906, but in 1911 the design was adopted as the official state flag.
By 1867, 2 years before the driving of the Golden Spike, the United States flag consisted of 37 stars. A new flag was made to add a star for Nebraska, the new 37th state. This flag would have been flown at Promontory Point.
Thank you, Troop 29. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now we have a special song that we want to play for you, and Tom Douglas is going to introduce this song. It's special to Rocklin.
So I'll talk at my outside voice. This song is called Wait for the Wagon. It was actually played on the very first train that came into Rocklin with a band that was on the train playing the popular tune of the time. This arrangement was done by Mike Hanikel, who is Rocklin's own. He's a retired band director from Rocklin. You'll hear the tune, Wait for the Wagon, towards the middle. Some of the other things you'll hear are the effects of the train, including explosions where they were laying track up in the mountains. So enjoy. Wait for the wagon.
So much to an event. We thank you very much. Now it's my distinct honor to be able to introduce to you one of the strongest people I've run into. He leads a Rocklin Historical Society as their president, and he is just one of those guys that's just solid gold. What he says he does, and there's just no exception. He just gets the good job done. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Hank Losey, who will present.
Right now, I'd like to introduce some people that we invited here to make sure that they could enjoy this moment with us. First one would be Placer County Supervisor Jim Holmes. Rocklin Councilperson Jill Gialdo. And the Chairman of the Rocklin Chamber of Commerce, Greg Roberson. Most of you might not know that the Troop 29 was started by Roy Rucola, who we just lost here a couple months ago. So that's a very important. We've always had a warm spot in our heart for Troop 29. I want to also invite the president of the Roseville Historical Society, Christine Richter, and then also from the Rocklin Historical Society suffragettes. They are celebrating their 100th year of women's right to vote. Give them a big hand. Also have Stephen Rudolph, the Rocklin City Manager. He's around here somewhere. We've got Robin Trimble, the CEO of the Rocklin Chamber. Thank you, Robin. And you might have seen somebody running around here that looks like Joel Parker Whitney. That's Smokey Bassett. Hey, Smokey.
Recognition for the Rocklin Historical Society, so I'd like to present that to you. And it is a certificate of special congressional recognition presented to the Rocklin Historical Society for your 150th Transcontinental Railroad commemoration. Thank you for all you do in restoring history, and really excited to be here today with you, and congratulations.
As I mentioned a little bit earlier, the Rail of Two Cities is a display that was put together by the Roseville Roundhouse Modeling Railroad Club, and we want to thank them for doing that. It's a pretty true depiction of what both the city of Rocklin and Roseville looked like in 1869. If you want to see what's left of the roundhouse, excuse me, the roundhouse, it's just a simple case of going across the street to the 180 church, and if you walk into the parking lot and back a little bit further, you will see the footings of granite, which were the outline of the roundhouse. That's all that's left. Now, I'm going to bring Kent back up here, and he's going to talk about the influence of Rocklin had on the railroad and what the railroad influence had on Rocklin. So without any further ado, Kent, and thank you very much, Kent, our master of ceremony.
Thank you, Hank. I'll tell you, the sky is solid. We're here to commemorate the accomplishment of a vision that unified a country. And you kind of got to step back in time and think, this country was in civil war. And massive conflict was going on. And at the same time, President Lincoln was saying, I want to unify this nation. And I'm willing to fight for it. And I'm willing to put a lot of hope into the connection of a railroad across the whole country. And that required an incredible vision. The East Coast had railroads connecting all over the place, but to get to the West, it was a major effort. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jim Carlson, member and past president of Rocklin Historical Society, chiropractor, altogether great guy, and lover of history. Dr. Jim.
Plaque reads, Rocklin passenger service begins 1864. This June 1864 Central Pacific Railroad timetable lists Rocklin as a passenger stop between Junction, now Roseville, and Pino, now Loomis. It was the first known use of the name Rocklin as a community name. Rocklin's first passenger depot was possibly a rail car on a side track near here. The permanent depot was built in 1867. The building included a telegraph office and John Sweeney's saloon. That building burned down in 1891 and it was rebuilt that same year. A second depot was built on the spot the same year. That depot was demolished in 1940, a victim of Rocklin's faltering economy. The City of Rocklin built the existing depot in 2007, dedicated this May 11, 2019 on the occasion of the Transcontinental Railroad's 150th anniversary.
Because I know you're going to take this home, put it on the fridge, and you'll never turn it around and read the side. So I get to read it too. In June 1864, the Central Pacific Railroad published its first time card, and that's what this is a picture of. It listed Rocklin as a passenger stop between Junction, now Roseville, and Pino, now Loomis. It is the earliest known use of Rocklin's name. There have been several theories regarding how Rocklin's name came about. However, recent research confirms the leading theory that it originated with Irish workers that had sleuths for gold in secret ravine and were on hand for nearby granite and railroad work. As the gold petered out, they named their new home Rocklin, rock for the granite, and Gaelic linn for the stream and pools in the rocky landscape. Now, believe it or not, there's another Rocklin out there in the world. We were looking on a map and we found one in Canada. In the the recent research referred to on the card was conducted by Gary Day, who contacted John Ashton, area historian at the community by the name of Rocklin, located in Nova Scotia, Canada. And Mr. Ashton stated that their Rocklin, like ours, was probably named by Gaelic-speaking settlers for the waterfalls and rocks in their area. So now that mystery has been solved. So thank you for coming.
The mission of the Rocklin Historical Society is to generate community interest and support for the preservation of Rocklin's heritage. For more information on student or public tours, future community events, or use of our restored St. Mary's Chapel, please see our website.